morning, everybody. Welcome to another exclusive interview at Value Investors Edge Live. We're hosting Okeanis Eco Tankers CEO Aristidis Alafouzos. Aristidis, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Jay. Thank you for inviting me.
2022 was amazingly strong. 2023 has been very strong as well, but we've seen those crude tanker rates pull back. There's been a lot of noise about OPEC Plus. Can you just kind of fill us in on the current status and balance of the markets?
Yeah, of course, I'd love to. So, 2022 was a remarkable year, especially for the Aframax and Suezmax segments. It took the Vs a little bit longer to balance and strengthen. So, the second half of 22 and the first half of 23 were great on the VLCCs. I started working in 2009, though, so this was the longest bull run I've enjoyed in my career, and it really felt awesome at times that there were month after month of just excellent earnings. There was a point where we were discussing with our commercial team, and if a voyage we were looking at earned less than $100,000 a day, we were just disappointed. I mean, I'm looking forward to getting back to those days sometime soon. Relative to the past 18 months and basis our expectations at what they were 6 months ago, Q4 is weaker than what we expected. I think OPEC removing almost 5 million barrels from the market is the driver of this weaker market. And the market has reacted, thankfully, by sourcing crude from less efficiently and increasing ton miles. And this has helped create a balance at relatively comfortable levels, especially on the Aframax. And the VLCCs have been a bit weaker. Specifically today, the Aframax and Suezmax markets are quite strong and they're firming quite well. So we have the US Gulf and the Med being busy on the Afras and Suez, and we've seen rates increase quite a bit, and I think they will keep going up. And as we go into Q4, we'll start to see seasonality, which really plays a role on the Afras and Suez and also on the VLCCs. But because the Afra and Suez are so dominated by the US Gulf, the Turkish Straits, weather delays in Europe, and the US, we can see a big spike on those.
Thanks, Aristidis. A very, very comprehensive answer. Let's talk a little bit more about the risk factors to the crude tanker market. We talked about why you're optimistic, but what are some of the negatives and some of the concerns you might have about the market?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's quite difficult to see long, medium-term negatives in the crude market with the age profile and such an extremely small order book coming forward. But I would say maybe in the shorter term that one of the risks we see to the tanker market is that if there is some kind of macro sell-off or recession where we do see oil prices fall, more financially driven than supply demand driven, we could see OPEC Plus again act to stabilize the price and remove more barrels from the market. But I do think that these macro events pricing oil won't match the potential decline in oil's demand because of its inelasticity. So again, I think we'll have a situation where inventories will draw even faster. And when we get past this potential hiccup, we're in a place that's potentially even better in the medium term for tankers. So it's, again, maybe short-term negative, but there's a silver lining that it sets us up for an even greater mid-24, whenever it comes, 25, 26.
I know one thing a lot of folks are interested in, especially the US-based investors, something we talked a little bit about in the past. Is there any potential or update on getting a US listing? Is that something you're still pursuing or thinking about, or is that kind of off the table and you're just sticking with the Oslo markets?
Look, I mean, Iraklis doesn't really allow me to say much, and if I do, he'll be very upset with me. But I think you can expect some news within the next couple of months. So definitely before Christmas.
Aristidis, this has been great. I always love getting your insights in the market. I'm glad we're staying in touch. There's a lot of exciting things going on. I want to give you the last word before we wrap things up. Why should investors prioritize or consider Okeanis over other crude tanker firms? There's all these other firms out there. There's Frontline, Seaways, all these other ones. Why should investors prioritize Okeanis?
We have the best fleet out there, and we've proven consistently and objectively that we can outperform our competitors. So I would say those two factors is the reason to invest in OET. We've gained the trust of the investor community, and my family does own 56% of the company. So we are shareholders, and we will be doing whatever is best for the shareholder of Okeanis going forwards.
All right. Thank you, Aristidis. Nice and succinct, and we always appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you, Jay. Have a nice day.